Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Talking Cryptocurrency Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Rigden. On this episode of the show, we are talking to Elizabeth of Is This Coin a Scam? This is a coin listing site that tries to determine which coins are scams. It's a great idea, and this was a great interview. But first, I've got this quick message. I really hope you like this show. I put a lot of work into it. If you do like it, would you please consider doing something for me? Give me a review on Apple Podcasts. Now, if you're a hardcore podcast listener, you are probably sick of hearing this. Every show begs for reviews, and it's a little annoying. But it does make a big difference. Those reviews help people decide to subscribe. They help guests choose which shows to go on. Those ratings and reviews for the shows are a direct way you can help this show grow. So, if you like this show and you want more, please help me. Take the time and give the show a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, or whatever they're calling it now. Hello, and on this episode, I'm here with Elizabeth from isthiscoinascam.com. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So could you tell me a little bit about the problem you're trying to solve here?
Well, there are a lot of pop-up projects out there which have either very little chance of lasting longer than a year, or in some cases have no intention of lasting longer than a month. Projects like this have a detrimental effect on the whole crypto community. So not only does it take money out of our pockets, which in my opinion is the worst effect, it makes outsiders skeptical of all the whole cryptocurrency community. You know, when they read another scammy news article in the paper about how some guy in Costa Rica ran off with £20 million. And also it takes money away from decent projects that are operating properly. But the worst thing is it makes thieves and scammers thousands and sometimes millions of pounds richer, sometimes overnight. They just get richer just like that.
So this project isn't necessarily anti-ICO or anti-tokens. You're just against the scams.
Yeah, we're not actually saying that anything is a scam. What we're trying to do is we're trying to provide the tools for people so that they can review themselves and move away from this kind of emotional response that people get. You know, when you watch a YouTube video and there's some guy there saying, oh, this is amazing, everyone's going to make loads of money for this. I bought this yesterday at 2 cents. It's now worth 10 cents. You know, I'm going to 100x my investment in 3 weeks' time. And it's very hard not to get caught up in all of that. And a lot of those projects, only very few of them have got bad intentions. But a lot of people in the cryptocurrency space are just normal people that just go to work and it's hard for us to earn $50, £50 or whatever. And I think we want to be able to kind of offer a place where people can move away from the emotion of making that decision to spend that £50 that took them 2 hours to earn at work and make a more of an informed choice. So we're just providing the information really so that people can decide for themselves rather than making a judgment on anybody.
Yeah, those scammers are masters at manipulating those emotional forces inside of us.
Yeah. And sometimes when you just take like 5 minutes and go and look at a website and say, oh, wait a minute, this website looks rubbish, you know, and then you just take that moment to look at something objectively, the magic starts to peel away and you think, oh, wait a minute, how can this be the next Facebook killer, the next WhatsApp killer, the next Uber killer, all rolled into one? It just doesn't make sense when I'm looking at it on paper.
So how are you trying to solve this problem? Do you have a website?
Yes. Yeah. Put simply, we've made a website where people can come and search for a project. And on this website, we've collected all the available data about the coin and we've put it together on their profile page. So next time you see one of these videos hyping the next best thing, come to our website, type it into the search bar, and you'll see the profile page. And on that page, you'll see stuff like their social media presence, their LinkedIn profile, their Bitcoin Talk forum profile page. You'll see their website, their team website, the white paper, you know, and we're encouraging people to click on those links and investigate for themselves the standard that's behind it. So have a look at the white paper. It might make no sense. If it makes no sense, that's fine. Come join our Telegram, talk to us and say to the other people in the Telegram group, am I mad? Does this make any sense? And chances are 50 other people think that it's complete nonsense as well. So, you know, we just want to open up a place for people to be a bit skeptical about things and to do that without, being laughed at from more eager members of the community.
And so how do coins get listed on your site? Do they pay you a fee?
Oh, no, we don't take any money from any of the projects for listing or for rating or anything like that. It's quite a manual process. When coins become available on CoinMarketCap, we take our lead from them and we'll list them on our website. I think CoinMarketCap's criteria for getting listed is they must have $10,000 in 24-hour volume. So that's good enough criteria for us. So we take our lead from them, really.
Okay. So is it an automated process, or do you have to go through and kind of make judgments about it?
It's 50-50. I've automated as much as possible, but then I still have to go through, validate everything, verify everything. And we also accept submissions from the community members and project members with updates to the information that we have.
And about how many coins do you know how many you have listed right now?
Yes, I've actually got some stats. Since we started in late October, we have 2,361 coins on the website. But at the moment, just around 1,900 of them are active or considered active. So about 400 have been delisted.
Okay. So have you been doing this for just under a year now?
Just under a year. It's coming up to a year. Wow.
And in that time period, do you feel like this scam kind of coins are increasing or decreasing?
I think it's remained about the same, to be honest. On average, we're seeing about 7 new projects coming onto the website a day. There's a lot of projects. And we're seeing the same amount dropping off. Well, we're seeing not 7 a day dropping off, but we're seeing around 2 a day dropping off. And that's been continuous throughout the whole existence of this is coinascam.com. Not necessarily that a coin is delisted because it's a scam, but if it's not making the volume, then it gets delisted. But then you have to ask yourself, why is it not making the volume? Why aren't the people who are in the project putting the effort into it and, honouring the original sort of contract they made with the people that were investing in it when they bought into the hype and the excitement around the project?
Yeah, I think one thing people don't realize is that some of these tokens and coins and all this stuff is that it's not that all of them fail because of lack of effort or just not being able to pull a project. There are some that are just straight up scams. There's exit scams. They just want to raise a bunch of money and then they're just going to disappear. That's
what I think. You go onto the Bitcoin Talk forum. Somebody with very little reputation will start a thread about their coin, about how they're going to do an airdrop. They'll airdrop it to whoever emails them their email. And then, everyone, as soon as you know it, that someone's got some free coins, they're straight onto Ether Delta. And then all the hype's building up. If you Google them at that moment, you'll see, a couple of hundred of posts appearing all around the internet in a kind of like a frenzy. And then, their people are selling off their kind of free coins that they've been given. Other people are jumping on, buying them. But what they don't realize is that the original owners of the project, placed a sell order for 10,000 of their coins at $1 each. And that's it. They make the $10,000, close everything down, and they're gone. If you do that a couple of times a month, it's quite a good wage.
Yeah, but I'm just always shocked people are able to live with themselves, but I guess I'm kind of naive.
I know. I mean, I couldn't do it, but it is done.
Another thing with these coins that people don't realize is you're saying about all those articles and stuff is that oftentimes these are bounty programs where people are getting paid in tokens to write articles or to share things on Twitter or to make YouTube videos. Even other podcasters are getting money to pump these tokens.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I think it's very rare that one of the big YouTubers will do a YouTube video promoting a coin unless they've received some sort of payment for it. And quite often they'll say, we've not received any money for this, but they'll receive payment in kind, either with tokens or, with Ethereum tokens or something like that.
Yeah, on this show, I don't take anything from anybody. I don't ask, and I won't accept any tokens or money or anything. But I've actually had people decline interviews because they will only do interviews if they pay the person doing the interview.
Oh, dear. Yeah, that was it. Somebody asked me yesterday, is this coin a scam? And I was like, what do you mean? And they say, do I have to pay you any money to get my coin listed on there? Do you want some Bitcoin? I was like, no, I don't. He's like, will you give us a fair review if I pay you more? I was like, we don't do reviews. And I wouldn't anyway, even if we did, I wouldn't take your money.
So what have been some of the challenges of this project?
The main challenge that we have is sifting through all the data and keeping up to date with all the new projects that are coming online. So, as I said before, there's probably about 7 new projects a day. And so there's quite a lot of work to verify everything and get it up there, and also maintain the existing data that's already up there, making the edits that people are putting forward. And also just normal challenges around community building, bringing people to the site, getting the name out there so that people do come to us, and our strength will be in our community. So the more people we have, the more people are sharing information, the better we'll be.
If you don't mind, can I ask how you're monetizing the site?
At the moment, we just put Google Ads on there. So as long as Google Ads don't mind advertising cryptocurrency related projects, we'll make a bit of money. But as soon as they decide they're not up for that anymore, then we'll have to think of some other way. But I think we'll just probably move to a different type of advertising platform. So,
but it still like kind of gives you kind of a firewall between you and the advertisers, where you're not making direct deals, because that could still have a bit of a conflict of interest, possibly.
Yeah, kind of. We wouldn't, we do offer advertising to people on the site. There's like a little section if anyone wants to take us up on it, we'll be fine with that. But I mean, obviously there'll be a conflict of interest if we're advertising some ICO that was blatantly a scam. So we'd have to, apply some ethical kind of review of anything that we were advertising in that way. But that's not saying anything that's up there we would endorse. But it's just kind of saying, if it was an ICO that was called something like the next best Bitcoin ICO, I was like, yeah, all right, jog on.
Now, another question, I don't know if you'll be able to answer this or not, but I imagine that your site has made some people out there a bit angry.
Yeah, we have had some interesting conversations with people asking us to remove reviews and stuff like that, offering us to increase their status. But I don't really want to say too much because I don't want to get anybody angry. But we have had a few emails from a few lawyers to the content, which is surprising because I would think somebody would come to our site, they would see a review, or they would see that they're missing a point or so because they've not provided team details. And instead of like bitching and moaning, they would just go to their website and add a team, or they would just respond to the comment left by one of the community members and just say, actually, this is not actually true. You're thinking about this, or blah, 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 or blah, blah, blah. But instead, some people just go straight for the lawyers. So.
Yeah, which is funny because you're really giving them really valuable feedback.
Yeah, exactly. If I was running a project and people thought that my project was a scam because I didn't show something like, I don't know, a lot of community engagement on Twitter, or I was rude on Twitter, I would really make an effort to be more professional on Twitter, or I'd really make an effort to engage more with my community, not threaten people with lawyers. But there you go.
So do you have any plans for the future for this project?
I think we're just going to keep on powering forward, building our community, getting that engagement with everybody so that we can get more and more data onto the website. But we want to provide things like widgets so that people can just dump a bit of JavaScript on their site. It might come up with a nice little box saying, is this coin a scam, project status, active, 27 community reviews, average rating 4.5 out of 5, that sort of thing. So people can use that on their own websites. Ultimately, we just want to help the community become more savvy and stop wasting their money in useless projects. So when we start receiving feedback from our community members along those lines, then we'll be happy and be able to relax a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we need, is some people kind of watching the market and giving feedback. We don't necessarily need gatekeepers, but we do need people like what you're doing, of raising a flag saying, hey, maybe this isn't the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool project. Is there anything that I should have asked you that maybe I missed?
There isn't, but I did get a few stats out of our database, which I thought your listeners might like. So as I said before, there's 2,361 coins on the website. 2 of them have been flagged by the community as scams. 121 of them are super active, 186 of them are moderately active, 20 of them are really quiet, 404 are delisted. This is the most interesting one though. 1,583 of these projects are unrateable. Like, we can't actually give them a status because there's not enough information about them on the internet. There's not enough open data. There's not enough volume information for our algorithm to make a decision. So I'm not too sure how people are making the decision themselves to invest in that, but we can't. This was quite interesting as well. There's 37 coins that include the name Bitcoin in their name, like Bitcoin 21, Bitcoin Script, Bitcoin Planet, and 6 of those Bitcoin S projects are ERC20 tokens, which always makes me laugh. And I think that's it. I thought your listeners might find those interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Yeah, it's really cool when you hear, these listing sites when they pull out the stats. Like the Bitcoin thing was interesting. Like I'm just always seeing someone sends me an email about new project that's fill in the blank Bitcoin or whatever. I'm waiting for Bitcoin. I don't know if that's happened yet.
Yeah. We've got a really good search page where your listeners could go and they can search for all sorts of stuff. They can search for categories. They can search for tokens. They can find out how many projects are based on Cardano. They can find out how many projects are in the adult entertainment industry. I don't know why the adult entertainment industry needs a cryptocurrency, but you can go there and find how many projects are claiming that as theirs. And, search for all this kind of interesting information and really drill down on it as well. So have a look at that.
That's great. Yeah, it's a really great site. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
No, thank you for having me.
Thanks, Elizabeth, for coming on the show. If you want to know more about Is This Coin a Scam, check the show notes. I've got all the links right down there. You've been listening to the Talking Cryptocurrency podcast. My name is Jason Rigden, and I have been your host. Thank you for listening to the show. If you liked it, would you please consider giving us a rating and review on iTunes? I look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a great day.